Hi everyone. We've got together people here from various industries who are here to discuss with us the challenges, the various challenges the students face when they're traveling abroad. To my right is from the telecom industry, Anant from Matrix. We have Amit from ICICI Lombard. And to my left here, gentleman from the aviation industry, Mr. Mahesh from Jet Airways. We are all here to discuss the challenges that you all normally face once you all get the visa, the post-visa challenges. You know, the things that you all are thinking. You know, what is going to happen next? What is my future like? I'm going to leave home. Is it worth it that I'm leaving home? All right. That's the major thing that happens. I mean, in short, I would like to tell a student that be happy. You know, the basic word is be happy. And if you're happy, your entire journey into your next step, that's your education journey is going to be fantastic. And to be happy, the basic rules is do your research before you go. The internet being the best option. Research is very important. You know, from the time you get your visa, what is the airline that I select? Do I need insurance? How do I get in touch with my parents once I'm there? That's where where Anant will guide you on that. So. You know, what the weather would be. I mean, in places like the US and UK where weather is not what we expect here in India, it's very different. It's a vast difference of weather. You know, you encounter snow and you encounter hailstorms, you might encounter a tornado, all you know, right? Okay. Also things that you want to carry, things that you don't want to carry. You know, some students always feel that we need to carry the entire home with us whenever we are going abroad because maybe we are not going to get these things there. But it's a misconception. We would like you to say that you get everything when you are going abroad. Okay, there is everything that is available to you. Also, basic things like your normal AC plugs. I mean, you need a converter. You know, your normal Indian plugs won't work in the US and the UK because you need to have a converter for that. In the US, you have 110 volts, which is very different from India, and where you realize you've taken an iron from India and you're trying to iron your clothes, and on the first day your iron just comes off on you. So there are a lot of things that you all need to you need to do your research before that. You can Google things, and that's why we also have a panel here. In terms of medical emergencies, what are you going to do? You also please carry your basic medicines. Very expensive. They are all on prescription, not like in India. You walk into a pharmacy and you could get a paracetamol or a Crocin, for 5 rupees. And in London, you would get the same for about 3 pounds. So you would rather say, okay, forget, let me just fall ill. I don't want, So you make sure you have all your provisions. Also, your basic provisions, if you are having you're on special medication, please carry it with you. You're allowed to carry anything you want. Of course, except for drugs. All right. Make sure they're prescription drugs. You carry your prescription with you at the airport in case, you've been stopped by an immigration or a customs officer. So you have your prescription with you. So we would like to start with Amit, who is from ICICI Lombard. Hi, Amit.
Hi.
We would like to know more about the insurance, when it comes to the US and the UK. What is your product, and why should a student, have an insurance from India rather than, you could have your NHS, which is free in the UK, And in the US, I think universities also offer their own insurance. So how would it be beneficial
Yeah.
to have insurance from India?
Yeah, so, I'll talk about US and UK separately. Well, in the US, most universities would insist that you have, some form of medical insurance, okay? Continue his study there. Okay, for example, let's say if there's a death in the family or something like that, okay, the student can, continue his studies there, okay, with the kind of, claims that he gets from us. What we also cover is, something known as a compassionate visit, okay, wherein if something happens to his family here, okay, the student is able to come back and visit his family, okay. Additionally, yeah.
Excellent. Just a question: if a student is ill and he misses maybe a semester, so do you also cover the fees part of it? I mean, if he is missing a semester, it's not just the medical expense. He might have to repeat a semester, and the fees are obviously the
so we do cover that. So Kailash, we do cover that. Okay, what typically we would cover is we would cover a semester's fee. Okay, so in case a student misses a semester, we would cover all the fees that would be incurred by him, okay, for that semester.
Okay, so he just directly gets in touch with you all, or how does
yes,
this happen?
Yes. How it basically happens is, both in the US and the UK, okay, we have a toll-free number. Okay, so basically the student needs to call the toll-free number. Okay, and in case of a cashless, the student needs to pay nothing absolutely. Okay, so he just basically goes to hospital, gets admitted, gets the treatment, gets out. Okay, in case of a non-cashless treatment, there the student would have to first incur the expense, then he would have to claim it from us.
Okay.
Talking of the UK, okay, so I spoke about the US, primarily. When you let's say, okay, so there are a couple of points on the US again. Okay, for example, when a student is trying to select, what kind of insurance he needs, okay, he should be very, very careful, okay, to understand what are the requirements of his university, because every university has a different insurance requirement. Okay, that could either be in terms of the sum insured, or it could be in terms of the kind of coverages that are there in the policy. Okay, so what we've prepared is we've prepared a list of the top 500 universities. Okay, and what are their requirements as far as insurance is concerned. Okay, so that's hosted on our website. That's icici-lombard.com. Okay, so I would encourage every student to go on our website and at least have a look at what are the requirements that every university has in terms of insurance. Okay, post that the insurance, post that the student can then then make a choice for the insurance.
In short, I would just say, if I'm a student, I mean, you realize that students have never ever encountered any insurance problems in their entire life up till about 21 years of age. And here you have somebody giving you a sheet saying, okay, this is your insurance. I mean, do you all actually educate the student on what this insurance means to him? And does one of your representatives actually meet the student when?
Yeah. So the student has got basically multiple ways to kind of get in touch with us. Okay, so either the student can buy the policy online. Okay, or the student can also call up our call center. Okay, and there the student can ask basically all the questions that he has got regarding to regarding the insurance policy, etc. Additionally, what we do is along with the policy, we give a very comprehensive document which explains to the student clearly what the policy stands for. Okay, so it's written in very, very simple English, and it's not not your usual English, your legal English that's typically used. So that the student is very well aware as to what the policy covers and what it does not cover.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So are there any hidden clauses?
Well, none. I mean, most insurance policies would have some clause or the other. Okay,
right.
But as I said, all the clauses are kind of laid upfront in front of the student. Okay, so we have the entire document which is kind of which has been put down in very simple English.
Okay,
and is kind of very, very simple to understand. So all kinds of exclusions, etc., are also clearly listed out in the document.
Excellent. Let's say a student is abroad and Can the parents also approach you all here in India and try and claim the claim, or is it only the student? Because there are some students who are only, say, 18 going for undergrad. I mean, they're not very well versed with insurance and things like that. So would the parent be able to also get in touch with you?
Absolutely. I mean, the claim could be made either by the student or the parent.
But that's a very big advantage, actually.
Yeah,
That's a very big advantage because, like I said, a student could be about 18, 19 years old. He is not aware what he has to do. So parents can actually get in touch with you. Okay, excellent.